least you know the diagnosis of your child. Like if you have a child with Down syndrome, you know when they're born. With Morgan, she still to this day does not have a specific diagnosis.
That was Maggie Hartman in 2022. But just 1 month after this interview, Morgan did receive a diagnosis from a genetic test taken 2 years earlier.
We had the opportunity to enter a study. They came back to us and told us that Morgan had TBRS.
TBRS, Tatten-Brown-Raman syndrome. It's a rare disease caused by variants in a specific gene.
Back in 2014, there were these new technologies on board called whole exome sequencing, which allows you to look at the coding parts of all the genes. And using that technology, we identified an alteration in DNMT3A and in total identified 13 children with alterations in DNMT3A and really strikingly similar clinical presentations with that increased growth, a learning disability and some recognizable facial features.
My son, Adrian, who is 7 years old, was diagnosed with TBRS in 2019. He's a happy little 7-year-old kid. He plays baseball, he loves reading, he loves animals. He will tell you everything about tarantulas and snakes.
Carrie Grins is connecting with the TBRS community in person for the first time at the 2023 convention at Morgan's camp.
It gave me not only that comfort and support, but it gave us answers to questions that we had, and it gave me purpose.
Answers from researchers studying how TBRS works. Casey Richter's son Lucas was diagnosed in 2017 when he was just 3 years old.
DNMT3A can turn off and on genes. With our son, he had a massive regression that year he was diagnosed. And he went from being verbal to being nonverbal. Something in the brain clicked.
Hello, hello, hello.
How can I turn it back on? How can I give my kid a voice? Because he doesn't have one.
There is no cure for TBRS, but through dedicated research and fundraising, there is hope treatments can be developed to help.
We have so many with heart defects, and if we could figure this out, maybe that could help the heart population. So many of our people have autism. If we could figure this out, 1 in 55 people have autism.
The TBRS community has grown from 13 to more than 300, but there are likely many more people who have it and don't know it.
I would love if we could broaden awareness, expand diagnosis and access to that genetic testing, because that's what we really need.
The Hartmans are grateful for Morgan's diagnosis, and they're committed to being involved in this community and raising awareness about it.
I believe that we can play a role in really being able to assist many others to maybe recognize that their child or their adult has TBRS, to ensure that the life of that individual can be much better because of that knowledge.